Not a real counseling session. Hi, Demetria and April. Glad to see you guys back today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you. How's everything going?
Everything's good.
Good. Anything better than the last time we met?
A little bit.
Okay. Have you guys been talking more, or?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, today we're going to go over a little family background history to try to see if there's any repetitive cycles, or to help us uncover the root cause of why you guys aren't on the same page right now. Okay, so some of the questions may not seem immediately relevant to your situation right now, but as time goes, the importance will become more apparent. Okay, so I know that last time we were talking that you have moved back in with your sister because of an accident you had, and you haven't been able to work, or you're on disability, and you're battling a little depression, a little anxiety, and you are not comfortable with her being there, right? Okay. So I know that's your principal concern of...
You're not comfortable with me
I said I'm comfortable with you being there. I just want you to get off your butt and go work.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the principal concern.
Right.
Her getting a job and starting back, functioning normally.
Yes.
And then for you, just trying to overcome the recent trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when would you say you started noticing like you guys' relationship was having trouble? I'll put it this way, were there any problems you guys had in communicating before you had to move back in with her?
Not really. I think we pretty much just kind of gave each other space at certain times, but we talked when it was necessary. We got along pretty good. I really think the fact that we lived separate lives helped us to have a better relationship before.
Okay.
So,
and I do notice there's an age difference. So I'm assuming your parents had you a little later in life, right?
mm-hmm.
How did that make you feel, going from the only child to now having a sibling?
Yeah, because she was a teenager when I was, about to be a preteen when I was born. So then when I was, a kid growing up, she was a teenager. And
so did you guys interact a lot? Like, did you ever spend time together, doing things or going places?
Oh yeah. She was my little sister, so I had to take her everywhere all the time. Anyway, you know how your parents do.
Okay.
Take your little sister with you.
How did that make you feel?
It didn't matter. She had to go.
Okay. So, tell me a little bit about you guys' parents. Are they still living? Still together?
We don't know about our mom. She left when I was much younger. I probably was about 4 or 5, somewhere in there. She just left. There was speculation about mental illness with her, but she's always kind of been like that taboo conversation. Nobody just talked about her. Nobody really said anything about her. And I've asked her questions, and she, knew her more obviously than I did, but even she's just kind of like, nobody talks about her. Nobody talks about her. So, and then our dad, he is still, alive and well. He lives in a assisted living community. But he does pretty good for himself. He's mainly just there because he doesn't want to leave his hometown. And
does he have any health problems?
Minor stuff, joint pains, and he watches his sugar intake, but no real diagnoses or anything.
Okay, so no like high blood pressure, heart problems, liver?
No, not really.
So he's pretty good health-wise. Okay. Demetria, from what you can remember of your mother, what do you remember about her behavior? Or how she was? What was she like?
She was just very eccentric. She kind of walked to the beat of her own drum and just did whatever she wanted to do.
So,
She never really lived by
not
a
conventional.
schedule. Yeah, it's like, I just do it when I get ready.
Was she really very, very involved with you? Like, do you remember her being actively involved in things you had going on?
Yeah, she always participated in whatever we had going on, but for the time being.
You know, I remember, I mean, you know, of course I was, like I said, I was real young. I just really remember Demetria, like, always as a mom, not really her. And I remember, I think it was Aunt Lena once, she said that kind of like after she had me, she lost her spunk or whatever. So, of course, as I got older, I thought maybe it was something like postpartum, maybe. But, like I said, I don't really know. So, sometimes hearing the different stories, if people do say little tidbits about her, it'll be like, you know, she was spunky, she was this, and then she wasn't.
Okay. And you said Aunt Lena. How active was she in your life, or you guys' lives, after your mom left? What role did she play?
She always came by to check on us and just make for sure that things were going okay. She mainly made for sure to attend our functions and stuff, so that she kind of just came in to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
And help our dad out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, from what you can remember, how did your mom's leaving affect your dad? Like, how was your dad? Well, put it this way: how was the relationship that you noticed before she left? How did they interact?
Like a normal husband and wife, I guess. I mean, they fought. They made up. You know, just like any other couple would. She may have wanted spaghetti, he might have wanted chicken, but it wasn't like he had a little get up and go, but he was really a hard worker, so his main focus was providing for his family. That's what he was taught to do, and that's what he did.
Okay.
So I guess they could have had a little bit of strain because he was focused on taking care of the family.
Okay. But you don't recall any major blow-ups or arguments or anything that may indicate that the relationship was strained or struggling?
Most of the disagreements, they took them out of our presence.
Okay.
Or at least out of our presence.
They didn't really argue in front of you guys?
I mean, you knew they were arguing and you knew there were disagreements because you could tell by body language and stuff, or slamming of objects on the table, but not in front of us.
Okay. What did your dad, did he talk to you guys about when she left and why she may have left? Did he explain any of that or sit down with y'all about it?
Not to me. It was more like he just didn't know, so he didn't know what to tell us. He just let us know that he would be there for us and was gonna
Reassuring you that one would stay. Were there any efforts to find her after she left that you know of that he took? Were there any calls to police or any kind of searches or bulletins or something put up?
Every now and then I would hear him on the phone talking to people about her, but not a whole lot of that I can recall. That, there probably was, but maybe I just blocked it out because she left, so she
Okay, well, Pearl, with you being so young, what do you remember about it? Do you remember any kind of big emotional outburst or anything when you realized she wasn't coming back? What was that like for you?
I think by the time I realized she wasn't coming back, I had my sister, so she was always
already in that role for you.
Yeah, because I had to go everywhere with her. Honestly, from the time I was born, I had to, because our mom, she did little odds and ends stuff, like clean houses and ran errands for when, people and stuff, and, Dad, he worked always some kind of industrial job. I think the railroad was what he did for the longest. And so I was just always with Demetria. And so it was almost like my mom could have been just, you know, hey, who's that lady? Or she could have been my big sister who like went off because I really just didn't, it didn't really matter to me much.
Did your
Until I
father's,
got older and then I wanted to know about her, but nobody would talk about her, so.
did your father's job take him away a lot, being with the railroad, or was he local?
No, he was local. I mean, but he would, you know, he would long hours,
Okay.
like really long hours, but he was local.
So the majority of the time, you would say your mom was there and not him, but she wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it was necessary for you to take her with you and doing things. Okay. Do you know of any drug or alcohol issues your mom may have had? Did she drink at all? Was there any alcohol in your home at all?
Beers in the refrigerator, but that's normal.
Yeah, okay. But nothing, no major other alcohol?
And mainly like just when our uncles came over, if we had family functions and
Okay.
stuff.
What about any kind of medication that you can recall? Maybe you noticed she was taking medication for anything?
She was rather private, so you really, if she was taking medication, I probably thought it was for a headache. I would have never known it was for anything specific.
Leading up to her leaving, did you notice any drastic changes in her behavior? Like from how she was before to right before she left? Did you notice anything at all odd about how she was acting or talking?
She was a little less interested in what was going on with us. I mean, she still would show up to things, but it was late, and it was like, oh, but I was here.
So it was
And she
like
would,
gradual?
yeah.
Okay, so she lost interest gradually. Okay. Emotionally, how do you feel about her leaving? What was the first emotion that you can remember that hit you when you realized she wasn't coming back?
Well, because she was so, like, full as fuck, and sometimes she just would leave anyway. It was like, oh, well, she'll be back in a couple of days. And so, when she never came back, it was like, oh, so she's not coming back. So I guess it was confusion.
Any anxiety or anything that you can remember that maybe you felt when realizing that she just really wasn't coming back?
Realized that she really wasn't coming back was anger, because that meant she left me with my little sister to raise.
Okay.
Even though I knew Aunt Lena was coming, and Aunt Lena's not at the house, then that was my responsibility.
Okay. And probably some resentment. Yeah. What about you? Did you really experience anything other than maybe a little sadness?
I think the older I got, I was more confused as to like why did she just leave, and then you know, the little bit of stuff that like Demetrius told me, if we were looking at old photos or talking about, you know, family stuff, and every now and then it's almost like she wasn't trying to, but she would go, oh, that was that time Mom did da 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 da, and I'm like, she sounds like a really cool lady, but you know, then I'm confused because it's like you just up and left your kids. So I guess I felt rejected. I felt the older I got, I was very angry.